Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, as I reported yesterday, there was a mass protest in Moscow, right outside the Kremlin, as thousands of people were chanting "Away with Vladimir Putin," and 100 of those protesters were arrested. They were upset at the fact that the leading political opposition leader to Vladimir Putin had been arrested, charged with defrauding a company out of France, of which his lawyers, and many others that have reviewed the documentation shows there is no crime committed at all. Matter of fact, the French company says that there was no crime and they have no problem. So it's really weird, folks. Well, anyway, I was on the telephone this morning. I received a phone call from Messianic Rabbi Stephen Ben Danoon, and he's in Prague, the Czech Republic, in the city of Prague right now, of course. And his wife, of course, can speak 5 languages, including Russian and Polish and Hungarian. And so today, Vladimir Putin gave his New Year's Day address, and they watched it live on television, and she was able to translate everything that Vladimir Putin said as Stephen Ben Danoon sat there and listened. And basically, Vladimir Putin said to the people of Russia that he officially welcoming the citizens that live in Crimea, welcome back to part of Mother Russia and the restoration of Mother Russia. Now, that's a huge statement, folks. If you know Bible prophecy, you know that the Magog territory that's mentioned in Ezekiel 38 specifically tells you the nations that will be involved in the final battle, the great battle of Gog and Magog, as Magog will actually come against Israel. And there will be a very, very bloody battle fought in the hills of Judea. So by making a statement, restoration of Mother Russia and Crimea is part of that in Ezekiel 38. So that was huge. But then he went on to say that the sanctions being imposed on Russia by the United States and the European Union allies, the fallen oil prices and the inconsistencies of the Russian ruble has not and will not hurt the Russian economy as the West think it will. And he then went on to say to all Russians, you need to prepare to defend the homeland. You need to prepare to defend the homeland. Now, Stephen Ben Danoon called me and said, Paul, you can quote me on this. It was a speech as if he was preparing the Russian people to get them at least in a mindset that if there is a war, they need to be prepared to stand and defend the homeland. He never mentioned the word war, but you got the insinuation that he wanted the people unified. So it was a very, very, a matter of fact, I'll put the link here on the rally that went on. I have the link. Thousands rallied near the Red Square in one of the boldest protests in years, and as that Russia has seen. Several thousand people rallied near Red Square on Tuesday to protest the conviction of the top Kremlin critic. It was his brother in one of the boldest opposition demonstrations in Russia in years. I was wrong. I didn't mean to say that. I misquoted that. It isn't the opposition leader they put in jail. It was his brother they put in jail. But again, this was an unsanctioned protest. This was a spontaneous protest. And the people were chanting they wanted Vladimir Putin to go away. Matter of fact, I've got a little bit of audio here, about 38 seconds, and I want you just to hear some of that, some of the chanting some of the chaos going on in Red Square outside the Kremlin. So you can hear the chanting, thousands outside the Kremlin, and so that was an unsanctioned rally by thousands, and they were chanting away with Vladimir Putin. So I'm not saying that he's got a major uprising. Matter of fact, he is quite popular among many Russians because of his social views, his stand on social matters, and the fact they like the fact that he will stand up against President Barack Obama. But certainly, there is some tensions mounting, and as long as the economy is in shambles, things could get very, very, very precarious in Russia. I'll be right back with some more current world events and how they relate to Bible prophecy. Are you serious? Are you serious?